All right, quick trade recap before my final target terminus hits up here. This is what we were watching for this morning in the live stream. Right, we had these relative equal lows down here. We were waiting for NASDAQ to trade into the 1 hour BISI that we had down there. Waited for that to happen this morning. Remember, we're approaching things with a higher time frame bullish bias. So while there were short opportunities to take price down into the 1 hour BISI, that wasn't the area of interest for me in terms of taking a trade toward. Instead, I wanted to wait for price to trade there and then to find a trade to the long side to reach up into buy side. Okay. As I drop down here into a 15-minute chart, you can see where I started to get interested in entering the market, and you can see where the targets are as well. So my first partial here was taken up here at the daily volume imbalance high. So I'll just note that here real quick. But I want to start by showing you all the entry idea for the trade. So here's the 1 hour BISI. Dropping down into there, running out sell side liquidity. This is the manipulation ahead of the distribution. Okay, we have a higher time frame bullish bias, and we want to look for prices that are higher. All right, so price drops into the 1 hour BISI, dropping down to a 15-minute. You can see that we do start to get the displacement off of here, and I found an entry before that. On the 5-minute chart, I didn't actually have the best entry here. I could have had something a little bit better, but so be it. I accounted for these inefficiencies that were below to allow price to trade to that. I actually took my first entry right up here on a 1 minute inefficiency. Right there. So was expecting a quick run headed into lunch on this. I was a bit premature, so you can see I took my first entry here inside this 1 minute BISI, and then took a second entry here at the low end of the BISI. And since I noted that there were 5-minute inefficiencies below, which is what we see right here, there's a small one there and another here, so noting both of those, I allowed for price to trade into those, and so my stop loss was below this down close candle right here to start with. Okay, so price drops in. These are just the macro windows. So I was noting how price continues to trade higher throughout those macros. And as price drops in right here, I'm buying. I'm allowing it to trade into the 5-minute inefficiency, which we see right here. Stop loss was down below that down close candle, which I mentioned on the 5-minute chart. So stop was right here. And you can see you start to quickly rally off of there. Moving up higher, then utilizing this here as a breaker on the 15-minute chart. So low, high, lower, low, trading through it. You can see how accumulation takes place inside there. Drops down one more time into the 2 down close candles, your order block there with the inefficiency right there. Drops right into there, and then continues the rally heading up into noon. All right, a bit of consolidation for the first half hour after noon, and then starting to make that run up toward 1 p.m. This gray box here is an old reclaimed 1 hour SIBI, which we saw it reclaimed right here before this drop off on Friday. So I was just noting that we came just into it right here at noon, fell 1 tick shy of it. But what I was really interested in seeing price trade to was the daily volume imbalance high, which is the level I have marked right here. Okay, so right as price trades up into that, I'm taking my partial, and I took the partial just one tick before the volume imbalance. Because if it was to have that perfect precision and just hit 17,614.75 and then fall back off of there, I wanted to make sure I had my partial booking. So it's one tick before. And it's totally fine to take it earlier than that too. Here was an opportunity to take a partial, and then as soon as that buy side's run out, right here as well. So the last target that I'm holding for is just these 15-minute highs right up here. I do think price could potentially extend up above this high as well in the PM session today. But it's a Monday. We had a bit of a tricky price action morning here, very seek and destroy, and now we're finally getting that nice PM session run. So I'm just interested in seeing price trade to 17,632 up here, and I'll call it a day with that. Okay, so yep, and now that I'm just looking for the final exit, I've taken my partial. My stop has been trailed up below this wick right here, which I'm looking at as the breaker. So we have our low, our high, our lower low. You can see how we traded accumulated within here. And now at this point, I don't want price to come all the way back down below the breaker and these down close candles before reaching into my price target up here. So stop gets trailed to there, and it will not be moved for the remainder of the trade. Just waiting for my target to be reached up here. All right, but that's all for the trade review. I'm going to let this play out to the target, and you can watch the rest of the trade.